Hi, everybody, and welcome to our live stream. And tonight we've got a couple of fun things happening. The live stream's open to the public again, which is great. We're really excited about that. But because we do need to be able to talk to the commanders fairly quickly as we're going through the game, the chat is member only. So if you'd like to join us for that, we would love to have you. But you'll need to click that join button there, and you'll be able to not only join the chat, but also join the action. So you'll be able to vote in the polls that will determine the fate of the world, as they say. It's been a lot of fun so far. Tonight we have UK 1, UK's opening move after a pretty convincing loss in Season 2 and a big stack in Norway. We will see what our polls turned out, and it should be a lot of fun. And then as soon as the UK's move is done, we'll move into Italy, Italy's opening with Doug and I. And so we are live and everybody is here. We're super excited for everybody to be here. Let us know how you're feeling about the poll. Did you vote in the poll? What did you think of how that's going? Love to hear who's online tonight, and make sure that my commanders, any of the commanders that are here, please check in so that we know that you are here and able to scream retreat if necessary. And we'll see how that plays out, but should be fun. But I'm going to put you guys on hold for just a second here, and we will be back in about 2 minutes. We'll get everybody online here and see where we're at. Let us know that you are here. Say hello, hit that like button for us, and tell us where you're from. Oh, and we've got a couple of big announcements after when we come back here. Good to see you, Chad. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. All right, we are back, friends. We're going to have a little crawl here moving along the bottom to remind folks that if they would like to join the conversation, that they will need to click that join button. We're going to let that run for a little while. We may turn it off later. But we've got a couple of very cool things happening. We've got a very special announcement. We'll be bringing on a new host to the Board Game Nation family here in the next couple of months. It is someone that you are not familiar with. Nobody that's, well, I suppose you could be familiar with her, but yeah, her. There you go. I've always said that I never wanted this to be the Gary Show. And so one of the things that we've always wanted to do is expand out into the casual game space. And we have found somebody that I think is going to be able to help us do that. So we're going to be bringing her on, and we'll have more about her in the very near future. But in other news, we also have a stunning 95 members now. I'm absolutely blown away by that. We're so excited and grateful for everybody that has joined and supported the channel. There's just been so much going on. We are thrilled to be able to be a part of and help organize this community. You guys are sometimes like herding cats, so we're excited to be able to get you guys to kind of coalesce around something. So we're excited about that. The spring gathering in Wilder, Kentucky, just south of Cincinnati. The anniversary event is sold out. I snuck in at the last moment, and Doug and I will actually be playing in that event. Should be a lot of fun, and we're excited about that. But unfortunately, that event is now sold out. So if you have not had an opportunity to register for that, there will be other events that are in play that you would be welcome to participate in. I think there'll be a North Africa tournament, and I think they're playing a 42-2 event, and of course the global event. I don't know if global is sold out yet, but I think it might be. It probably is, but it's certainly worth checking. Again, that is Spring Gathering, not Gen Con. Gen Con is in full swing, or the prep for it is in full swing now. We got our press badge for that, so we'll definitely be there. The housing block is now open. May the odds be ever in your favor for that, because it is a challenge for sure. It is probably the single greatest pain point in the Gen Con experience is managing the housing. Otherwise, like the convention is a lot of fun, and the restaurants are usually pretty easy to get into and enjoy. And of course, the con itself is fantastic, and the tournaments are a lot of fun. I think housing is probably the hardest thing when it comes to that. So plan in advance. But the tickets for the individual events, including the A&A events, will be going on sale in May. I've got the actual dates in the, let's see. I think it's May 18th. I got that right?
Sounds right.
Yes, they'll go on sale May 18th, but on May 4th, you'll be able to start seeing the list and creating a wish list, right? So that it'll purchase I think it'll purchase automatically from your wish list. I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. Don't count on that. But yeah, so lots of cool things going. And what else have we got going on? 95 members. That seems crazy to me. We're super excited about that. So, Charles, hey, I was messing with this earlier today. This is not how I thought this was going to look. Um, that's interesting. Not what we were hoping for, but I think that might just be you, Charles. I'm not sure. Let's make that white. There we go. There we go. A little bit easier to read. Okay. Wow. Okay. We've already got a bunch of gift memberships here from Craig. Thank you very much, Craig. Charles, I think that he has increased the number of teams here. So the tournament will actually, he made another round, and that round will be on Friday morning. First round starts at 8:30, setups at 8. So there'll be lots of coffee involved, and maybe an IV of caffeine. Maybe we'll see. I don't know. But I think that increase has already been done, and I think it's still sold out again from there. Wow. Okay, Craig, man, you're killing it, brother. We got lots of gift memberships here from Craig, who is just our champion. We really appreciate that. So thank you to all of these folks for being here, and welcome to the BGN family. And thank you for being citizens, and thank you for being here, and thank you for your support, Craig. We really appreciate all of that. So let me see if I can. So Sean, Kelly, Motu AOW, and Matt Wab, MSG Nelson. We really appreciate that. That's a great profile picture, by the way. So is this one. Those are a lot of fun. All right, awesome. Appa. Everybody say hi to Appa. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you again, Cray. Very, very kind, very generous. We appreciate that. And you're probably right. That probably does put us at 100, which is a big milestone for us. No doubt about it. We really appreciate that. And we're super excited about that. And that, of course, deserves The Glockenspiel. The Glockenspiel. That is fantastic. All right, let's bring Doug on here. He's hanging out in the wings here. Let's bring him onto the show here, and he's ready to help us celebrate 100. Oh man, there you are. There you go. Hey, welcome.
There we
go. There you go. Good. Everybody say hi to Doug. Hi, Doug.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody. We get
good to be here.
All right. Well, that is fantastic. So we've got a ton of stuff to give away, and I'm going to put it to the community. Let me ask this question, and we're not going to do it today, so your answer will not depend on your attendance today. But one of the things that I've been thinking about is we do have a ton of stuff to give away. We had intended to give away stuff when we got to 80, but we apparently just blew past that and went straight to 100, which is amazing. Thank you very much. So we've got a bunch of stuff to give away. My question is to our membership here, would you rather have us do one big giant giveaway or do one in each of these live streams so that everybody's got a chance to win, whether they can be at that one thing or not? I think it makes more sense to have things spaced out and do kind of one every few days or once a week or something like that, so that there's so we've got a reason to stay to the end of the live stream. That's kind of
That's
I'm
right.
not gonna lie. I'm a sucker for views, baby. I'm a sucker for views.
We know what you're doing, Gary. We know what you're doing.
We got bills, baby. We got bills.
I do think one. I think spaced out, kind of, slowly is more fun. So
matches my mentality. Being spaced out. There you go. Well, yep, and there's a fair number of people in the chat that agree with you, so we appreciate that. All right. What is Mitch? Always makes me think of the Doug song from The Hangover. Fair enough. I appreciate that. All right. Oh, perfect. Okay, well, this works out. So now he's a member, and he's gone back to watch the Russia-German opening, which is cool. But I was able to make that viewable to the public earlier today. So it was member only when we recorded it, but we have since made it viewable to the public, so everybody can watch that. But all right, cool. So what else? Oh, I just finished taking a bunch of pictures of Stalingrad all set up, and it looks pretty cool.
That's cool.
I'll have a bunch of pictures to put up probably right after we get done here. I'll post them in the socials and on the Facebook groups and on our community page, so everybody can get a chance to see it. And they'll be in the Discord as well. I've actually got a couple little video clips that I'll put in the Discord server that are kind of B-roll shots of the game. Kind of gives you a little bit better feel of what it looks like and how it's going to play. But I will say first, right off the bat, it's a bigger footprint. Like, takes up more table space than I expected it would for a two-player game. It's cool, but it's still a pretty big game. And clearly, Larry Harris was involved here because he doesn't seem to know how to make a small game. Nothing but love, Larry. If you're watching, nothing but love. But he doesn't make a small game. All right, so to the game.
I'm ready.
Thank you again to Cray and to all of the members for supporting the mayhem as we get through here. We're gonna try to keep a little bit short tonight. I think we will be able to do that. We've got our votes in for the UK, and the venerable leader that you'll be following today is the incomparable Commander Charles Hall. He will be our leader today, and
he's the one who went for the complex in Madagascar, right?
Yes, that was his. It was a bold choice. It was a bold choice. I
like
appreciate the right. Yes. Yes. You know what? I did something. I thought it was funny. I'm not going to do it again because I'm afraid it screws up the voting. But unfortunately, Landon wasn't available yesterday. He had some family stuff that he had to take care of. So I filled in the fifth one, which was UK invades Antarctica and builds a penguin nature preserve. And it did get 2 votes. I thought it was funny. But the margin was 2 votes. So number 2 won by 2 votes. And so I'm afraid that
fixing. I don't
yeah,
know. It's gonna be an
yeah,
asterisk next to this game if we win, Gary.
maybe. But one of the folks that voted was Thomas Haver. So
Okay.
Haver. Um, but that was the other thing I was going to say. Thomas um, has some big news, and we're really excited about it. We're going to have him on as a special guest on a Friday, not too far from now. He's just got the pack out copy, which is what I got for Stalingrad. He just got the pack out copy for a brand new diplomacy game.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Called Era of Empire.
Mm.
And he's credited as an additional designer in that game, which is super cool. Like, that's just cool. I mean,
Yeah,
he spent
awesome.
he's a huge diplomacy fan, of course, and he has been doing tons of great work in the diplomacy space for a really, really long time. And so, like, that's a big deal for him to like. So we're gonna have him on to talk about it. The game is available for pre-order now on Renegade's site. Please use our link when you go to check that out. But it does look like a very cool game, and I'm excited to get a chance to get the backstabbing underway in a new theater. So it should be a lot of fun. So we'll have him on at some point in the not so distant future to talk about that. We're really excited about it, and he's actually at the Gamma Expo, which I opted not to go to this year, in Louisville, where Doug is. Um, but he's out there kind of talking about that game, and so very, very cool. So we're excited about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right. So Charles Hall, what have you done to these poor people? Um, let's see what we've got. All right, I'm taking us over to the audio change. I got myself a new body mic, so in theory, this should work better this time than it did last time, and we shouldn't have an echo here. So I'm going to switch over to the other side. It is going to take me just a second to make sure that I can see the chat over there. So we're going to the game. All right, and we left Doug on the screen, which is fun.
All right,
Doug.
I'm excited. I'm excited about this.
Yes. All right, so UK, what have you done here? Let's see what you bought. No, why can't I? Oh, I can't. Oh, why is that? That's not right. Stand by. There we go. There we go. Okay. All right. There we go. So now I can kind of halfway see the chat. So now let's see if I can get the orders up here. All right, United Kingdom 1 for commander number 2, right? Yep, that's what it was. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. All right, so for their purchase, they're buying themselves a big carrier and 2 destroyers, trying to rebuild the fleet. Bold choice. A bold choice. We'll see where
Carrier
that
and 2
lands when we
destroyers.
get there. All right, so they've got, and that I believe is, it's 30 IPCs, so they saved 1. And they've got a pretty simple combat move this time. All it is to take 1 guy and step into Burma. It sounds like the plan.
Okay.
I
Japan
like
is
their
angry.
chances in that fight.
Yep.
All right. They have been successful in taking Burma. Congratulations. Welcome to Burma. Okay. And so, you know what? I spent 15 minutes today trying to decide on which dice box to use, and then you guys don't have any dice to roll. Come on now.
Not even gonna bomb us.
Not even going to bomb anybody. It's just going to stay on your island. I see how it is. Okay. All right. So non-combat then. Let's see what that looks like.
There was a question earlier in the chat. from Mind Blown, we've been talking a bit in the world chat about the ability of the commander to alter the non-combat moves and mobilization based on the results of combat. What's your opinion on that? I mean, I think we were asking for that type of feedback in the first. I think it was Russia's turn, right? Just do you guys want to keep pressing the attack or something like that? So, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds like
So that's kind of what we've been doing. Is
yeah,
like I said at the beginning, like we'll do our best to make what I think is the most logical choices for if it comes to that, right? But we've so far anyway been able to have enough commanders online that we were able to make be able to ask, right? Do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? And if somebody piped up and said, "Hey, we just got our butts handed to us there. We need to make a change," or there was some
yeah,
anomalous thing that happened, then yeah, or
mhm.
some 1% dice outcome, and if you don't retreat with that fighter, you're going to lose it. That kind of stuff. So,
Yeah,
um,
yeah. They've got to be able to give input as things progress. I
right.
agree.
And what we had said was that the commander whose votes were or who got the most votes that day, whose orders we were executing, would be the one to make that call. Because I don't want to try to take the time to have commanders argue among themselves in the chat, right? So today, Charles Hall is the man. So if he decides to make a change to something, now obviously he's not going to do that because nothing like happened in combat this time. But if that were to happen, then we would defer to him.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
that makes
Right.
tons of sense. I like it.
So somebody asked, I saw in the comments, what game was that? This is Catan Seafarers, and this is actually just the box for the 5-6 player expansion. So it's that's what it just happened to be the right size. So
Yeah,
that's what we went with. Okay. All right. So back to it.
non-combat.
Non-combatimus maximus. We were going to use the transport to move the one infantry and one tank across over into UK with this. I assume the cruiser is going to make that move as well. Yes. Let me turn this into a guy. Let's see. I've got a little bit of a glare there. Okay.
Let's see. So yeah, 8. Okay. Yep.
What was the other thing? So yeah, so that's all that moves to Sea Zone 8. 2 infantry and a tank from Egypt to Transjordan. So this is 2 infantry. And the tank to Transjordan. Are there guys from Transjordan moving? They are not moving. So they're staying there. So this is just going to go underneath him. That guy stays there. He stays there. The fighter from Egypt is going to India.
Okay.
The infantry from Persia is walking into India. The infantry and the artillery from South Africa are moving to French West Africa into 17. The transport's going to go to 17. Okay, so you're going to move up here and land there.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. That's interesting. That is not something I had seen before. I guess you're really counting on that destroyer being in 12. All right, we'll see how that goes for you. So that's over there. So the fighter from Australia comes over to India. Okay. And this, for some reason, is in the wrong color. All right. Okay. And then now we're mobilizing, right? Any other non-combat that I'm missing? Charles, are you good? Let me know in the comments here that I got everything that you wanted here. Seems about right.
Take a look too. Um. 2 fighters are. It looks like the 2 fighters are moving to Sea Zone 8 for the carrier that's being
That's what it was.
mobilized.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So those are going to be over here. Oops. Those will be over here. Charles says it looks good. So we're going to lock that non-combat in. We'll do chipping and everything later.
Bomber staying put is interesting.
Yeah.
Climb.
Yeah. All right. So I just said that the guy whose orders got voted on would have the final say. So Charles, this is your final answer? Charles Hall, this final answer? You're getting some coaching from your fellow commanders. I just want to make sure that everybody's on the same page here. All right. I'm going to call that a yes. All right. So he's good. So that is the end of non-combat for the United Kingdom. Now it is time to mobilize. We're moving the carrier and the 2 destroyers into Sea Zone 8.
Okay.
Yep, that's what I've got here. So there's the carrier and 2 destroyers. Into Sea Zone 8. All right. Okay. I got to admit, guys, I'm a little surprised that that destroyer is still alive. I'm not mad about it, but I'm a little surprised by it. Okay, so that means that the UK is up 2 from their start, so they collected 33.
Yeah.
And that should...
Saved 1, so they're at 34.
Yep. So they collected... I apparently can't type into this cell. Oh, there we go. Collected 33. And that leaves them at 34 all day.
Destroyer.
Right?
Yeah, 34.
Okay. So what is that takes us over to Italia.
The Italians. So yeah, what are we going to build? I know we talked.
Well, what can hit here? Those 2 fighters, that bomber, that destroyer. These fighters can't reach there anymore, so they can get here with what? 2 fighters, a bomber, and a destroyer. That doesn't seem like enough.
12 attack. I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah.
They have 4 hits and we have 4 hits.
What is that? 6, 8, 12. Yeah, 12 versus 6, 10, 11, 12. You want to drop it. It sounds like you want to put a destroyer in there.
I mean, I'm inclined that way. Otherwise, it's right. It's 12 against 10. I mean, we could 1, 2, 3, 4.
So in order for these fighters to make that move, this destroyer would have to be killed. So that's going to force the Americans to do something about it.
Yeah.
If this is here, then those fighters don't have any place to land. The other thing to remember, though, is if they do that, that's going to pull that, almost certainly is going to pull that carrier into this sea zone.
Yeah, that's true.
Which we could have some fun with.
That's true as well. Yeah.
I mean, all these air units can get there.
I mean, here's the thing. If you're Britain right now, let's just look at it from this perspective. Like if you get basically a straight up shot to kill the Italian Navy, do you take it? I mean, it pretty severely cripples Italy. Italy's not going to rebuild that navy.
Yeah, that's almost certainly true, but then they're just going to build land units and reinforce France, right?
Yeah, that's
move
true.
to the east, right? It'll stop them from doing anything else down here, but without the purchase of the complex down here in India, I don't know that we're going to have to worry about them repopulating. It seems like we've got a pretty good handle on China at the moment. So,
Yeah.
once we can get rid of these units, they're not going to be able to build anymore. So, and this build to me says KGF rather than KJF. So I don't know what the Americans are going to plan to do over here. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, I'm
No
okay.
comp.
I'm okay with the destroyer here because it does create a couple of new options. Plus, it saves 2. Plus, with this, that would give us 14 for
Yeah.
for a subsequent round to build a couple. It gives us some variety. So keeps our
Yeah.
options open. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Okay.
So I think the
Yeah.
second question is, do we move into C zone 15 and drop some guys into Egypt this round?
No, I think we can do it like this. I think we can do these 2 and this fighter,
Yeah.
and that'll
And then just
that should
bring two guys across into Libya.
yeah, and then we'll bring a guy in a tank down here to either once if they take this back, the Germans come through again. We can use these 2 guys, right? We can go up to 16, back to 15, and land again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But this guy will still be here when that happens.
I mean, but we could have two more units sitting in 15, then we know our fleet is safe. Or I mean, two more guys potentially sitting in Egypt, and we know our fleet is safe. Transjordan's not going to be able to counterattack because Germany goes before Britain.
Right. So if we move the Italian fleet out, the Russians are going to kill this transport.
Are they going to risk that if we build a destroyer?
I tell you, what we could do is we could move the battleship and a cruiser over here, leave a cruiser with the destroyer to defend the German transport, because then the only thing that can reach are going to be those 2 fighters, right? Can that bomber get to 15 and land? 3, 4, 5, 6. It would be able to land in Transjordan because it won't
Transjordan.
be able to land in Egypt. So yeah, so the destroyer, I think we agree that the destroyer is the purchase.
Yeah,
Either that
I
or a
like that.
fighter. You know how I feel
I
about
guess
fighters.
I do. Yeah. I think I feel the same, but I think the destroyer is the purchase.
Okay. Particularly if we have 14 for Italy too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's do it. Hit Egypt and then leave the fleet there.
What if we bring the battleship into 15?
I don't know. I mean, he could hit it with a bomber and two fighters. The India fighters could get there too. Persia, Transjordan 15, and land in Transjordan.
Yeah, if they do that, then they're not going to be able to take Egypt back. These 2 tanks can come. That transport can come. Oh no, that'd be risky. It'd be risky for them.
It would be, because then their two fighters in India would be gone.
Right. And presumably we'll have a transport in range of India.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they may not be willing to do that. So but the
Yeah. Split.
battleship gives us pretty good chance of taking out the destroyer.
Yeah. Splitting up the Italian Navy always makes me nervous. Yeah. I don't know.
So that'd be
If
2
I
fighters and a yeah, I mean there'd be 2 fighters and a bomber against 2 cruisers and a destroyer.
or two fighters and a bomber against the battleship.
I'm just
If
trying to
let's
say
just say,
my thinking is the advantage of
yeah,
the soak on the battleship. Like we get a free shot at the destroyer. But yeah. All right. All right, I'm fine. We'll do it this way.
You like leaving the fleet?
I think it's a little bit more conservative, but
Yeah.
I mean, if we get a shot at taking out Italian or UK air units,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. I mean,
And the
I
death
do
of the
think,
Italian Navy is not the end of the world. It just means that we buy land units and do other things.
yeah.
So,
I do think that we should play this like if we were in the tournament and, if one of us should be like, if you're the Europe guy and I'm the Pacific guy, then that person should have the final say. Because otherwise we could sit here and debate all night long, Like
okay.
if you're running Germany and Italy and I'm running Japan or vice versa, then I just think that simplifies it a little bit for us. So
Okay.
I'm happy to defer to what you want to do if you want to focus on Germany and Italy a little bit more and be the final arbiter of those types of decisions.
No. Well, clearly they're going for a KGF, so I'm going to leave that to you. I'll be over here playing Japan.
Yeah. Wait a minute.
All right. Nope, I think we're good. We'll leave it like this, and we'll figure all
Okay.
that out. So now I do get to use my dice box. Look at there.
Okay. Cool.
Sweet. Excuse me. All right. So Egypt. This is 2 1s. Where's my dice? 2 1s. All right. Got him.
I'll do it.
And this game is easy. He shoots back and hits.
All right. Jerk.
Fine. Be like that. All right. Well, losses are easy to calculate this time. Kind of like that.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. Those are going to be our losses this time. We need an Italian marker. We're eating pasta in Egypt today. And that was 3 moves, right? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it's got 1 move left. Italian non-combat. We're bringing a guy in a tank.
Guy in tank. Yep.
One guy, 1 tank. Over to Libya. All right. And of course, this fighter comes back over here. And I'm done with those. I think a guy walks up here, don't you think? Into France.
Yep.
And then we will take the 2 tanks to Bulgaria with the 2 infantry. Because this transport can reach them. And then they could counterpunch in Ukraine if they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yep.
Transport can get I don't know. Do we move that guy into France? I mean, what's that artillery going to do by itself?
What do you mean?
I mean, we have an artillery in Italy.
It'll defend the complex.
Well, nothing can attack it this round.
The U.S. bomber can. You're talking about this AA guy?
No, an artillery. There's an artillery in that spot. In the setup. 2 infantry, 2 tanks, fighter, artillery. Is the artillery not on your map?
The artillery is not on my map. I believe I might have to set up
Here it is, guys. This is it.
I went over this like 12 times too. Sure enough, there's an artillery supposed to be there. Okay, so
I'm saying leave the guy back. So if we have the guy and the artillery to counterattack with, like, why just have the artillery to counterattack with? You might as well have 2 2s. Either move them both in or keep them both back.
Okay, so this is a really good opportunity to talk about a rule change for this year at Gen Con. It was actually in place last year at Gen Con, but it didn't come
sad.
up. Yeah. So here's the rule at Gen Con as I understand it. And Doug, correct me if I get this wrong here. if the setup error has not affected gameplay, then it can be corrected.
Yes, that's right.
And I am of the opinion that this has not affected the play of the game because those units did not have the opportunity to attack anybody, right? Or be attacked by anyone. So I'm going to ask for my command. I'm going to ask my commanders for to make
Yeah,
sure
I
that
mean,
everybody's cool with
honestly, I
that.
couldn't even see that it wasn't on there. It was on my map. That's why I was like, well, what about the artillery? Are we going to just leave him
Right.
in Italy? That doesn't make sense.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Just like if we come to US's turn and there's a fighter missing, you know,
Right.
new game corrupt.
Right. John also said,
all
"I'm cool with fixing it. We want to beat you fair and square." I appreciate that.
our
Good luck with
entire
that.
entire strategy hinges on that artillery. Yeah, that's why the UK did what they did. If they would have known that artillery was there,
That's right.
they would have chosen a different path. Yeah, so I just
Exactly.
say you leave them both back. I don't see taking one in as any advantage.
Yeah, the only advantage to doing it is now they've got to bring one of those air units. They can't just drop a guy, right? And those air units, they won't be able to be involved down here, right? That's the only, to me, that's the advantage of forcing them to use a unit. They have to add an offensive punch instead of just dropping an infantry.
Yeah.
So yeah, this German sub presumably will not be here. They've only got the one transport, so they could only land 2 guys. So I guess maybe it doesn't matter. And I think they're probably planning to try to make some kind of heavy land in Morocco with the Americans and try to mess with the Italians. But now that we've got this destroyer, clearly they're not going to do that.
That's right. Exactly.
All
Scared them
right.
off.
That's right. Okay, well, we'll leave it there. We are now mobilizing our destroyer into the Sea Zone 14 with the battleship and the 2 cruisers and the German transport along with the Italian transport. Turn this into a chip. All right. Right. I think Gary should misplace a piece every turn, and we have to find it or it's gone. It'll be like a really stressful Where's Waldo. I like where your head's
Yeah.
at, friends. I like it. I appreciate that you guys are taking this game seriously.
Yeah. I've been cracking a lot of jokes, so
Right? No, that's
it's
great.
good. I gotta keep it light.
Totally. All right. So,
I think
quick
that's it.
recap. Egypt has 1 guy. Libya has an infantry, a tank, and a fighter that belong to the Italians. The Germans have 3 infantry, 2 tanks, and artillery, and a fighter there. Sea Zone 14 has the transport, destroyer, battleship, 2 cruisers. Sea Zone 15 still has the UK transport. Transjordan has 3 infantry, an artillery, and a tank in it. India has 3 infantry, 2 fighters, and an AA gun. Burma just has the 1 guy. French West Africa has the infantry, the artillery. Sea Zone 17 has the transport. Sea Zone 8 has a big carrier with 2 fighters on it, a cruiser, 2 destroyers, and a transport. Eastern Canada has 1 infantry in it. Western Canada has 1 infantry in it. The United Kingdom has 3 infantry, 1 artillery, 2 tanks, a US bomber, and a UK bomber, along with an AA gun and a complex. And Australia's got 3 infantry in it. The fighter's gone. It's got the AA gun, and there's a guy in New Zealand chilling in the Shire.
Yeah.
Anything else?
That's it.
Losses this time are 3 and 3. 3 for the UK, 3 for the Italians. And that should wrap us up. That takes us over
Yeah.
to, boom, the Americans. All right, USA.
I think the next live stream with USA and then Japan will be a little bit longer.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, so I'll come back around
We
to
we collect 12. We save 2, so we're at 14 with Italy.
yes. Let me take us back over to the studio side. Hey, oh, that's not what I wanted. Hey, bring Doug back. There he is. All right, welcome back, Doug. All right,
Good to be here.
so all right, so we're headed over to the actuals for this one. This I thought was this was Jamie's idea. I thought this was a really good idea. So now what will happen is in the commander spreadsheet, what we will have is we've got a new tab called actuals, which will have the actuals. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to copy over Charles's move to the actuals tab. And then I think I'll actually probably lock this tab so that it's just me that can just edit this. And then we'll also add what our moves were. So I'm in it now. So I'm adding the destroyer. So, and the formula that I built here shows that it saves us 2. And we collected, what did we say? 12? Collected 12?
Yeah.
Because we're up Egypt. Okay. And then I'll go in and write what our actual orders were, which are pretty simple and pretty straightforward. So hopefully that works for everybody. Take a look at that and see if you've got any questions about it. And man, should be a lot of fun. Yes, unfortunately, we've got a couple of conflicts for this Friday. So Friday night is not going to work. We had talked about Thursday, and which would stay on the same kind of timing that we've had, though I am working on trying to find 3 days that work, 3 days per week that work for Doug and I to try to set this up on some regular rotation, but we haven't nailed that down
I'm
yet.
going to look into Friday further and see if I can make some adjustments. So we'll see. I don't know how many other conflicts there are, but I know I was one of those. But Friday might be better for me than Thursday, and if we were going to go Saturday also. So I'll see.
Yeah, tell me how this works for everybody. My dream scenario is Sunday, Wednesday, Friday. If we did this 3 nights a week, then it would be we'd have a little bit of time earlier in the week. So we'd skip Tuesday, right? And then we do Friday night, right? And then we'd have almost certainly the longer moves are falling onto Fridays. It just happens if my dream scenario plays out, then it is usually going to be Japan or UK or whatever, how it all plays out on Friday nights. So, and then we can do drawings and stuff like that. So it's and it's not school night, so we can get a
that's
little
nice.
bit of sleep on Saturday. So we're working on that. This is funny, Marty. Recruitment posts for World's War Cabinet. Boy, that's a hard phrase. World's War Cabinet includes a requirement for Excel proficiency. We've tried to make it as simple as possible for the commanders as we go through this, but it should be pretty. We built the formulas and it should be pretty easy for everybody to fill it out. I will say I would encourage my commanders to save themselves a little bit of time here and start using abbreviations for the units and for the territories. The territories, you can usually just write the first 3 letters of the territory, and usually there's 2-letter abbreviations for all of the units, so you can use those and save yourself a little bit of time.
Unless the territory starts with the word French, then you might have to go a little deeper.
Right. Yes, that's true. So like French Indochina Thailand is FIT, F-I-T. French
or
West Africa.
Or the word East.
Right, East, whichever.
Was that Eastern United States or East Indies? I don't know.
Eastern Canada. That's right.
I
moved all your units to Eastern Canada. Perfect.
Yeah. America's retreating all their bombers to Eastern Canada. Good idea.
Yes,
Pull up there for the winter.
All right. So we're going to find out about Friday, and we'll let everybody know as soon as we are able to nail that down. And we'll do some drawings on Friday. I'll pull out the prizes. We're still getting halfway settled in the studio. We're almost there. We did a big bunch of organizing over the course of the weekend, so we should be able to pull out some prizes and do some giveaways on Friday. So that's really exciting. All right. Well, I think you good?
This was fun. Yeah, this was good.
Yeah. And we're under an hour. Stop it.
It's
Shut the
great.
front door. All right. Well, fantastic. Anything else in the comments? Last call for anything from our commanders that you guys want to talk about? Well done, Commander Hall. We appreciate your taking the time to put in the orders and figure out what you want to do. And we will find out about Friday ASAP. Thank you again to Cray T for all the guests for the gift memberships and another super chat. Man, very kind.
Nice.
What do you all think about Italy being in this game? Hey, what's up, buddy? They're pretty small, but it does help Germany with less powerful spaced turns. Yeah, I like Italy being involved in this particular game. It creates some interesting turn order opportunities where you can land Italian units and then German units on the Russians or in the UK against some without them being able to stack, which is useful. So pretty cool. Max,
I like it. I
thoughts?
think it adds a huge dimension to the game that is really interesting, and yeah, changes up the turn order. So I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's pretty interesting. Well, thank you, Craig. We appreciate that, and we will. I guess we'll see you next time. You guys did great. There it is. Gary and Doug +1 versus the world. I promise they're not helping.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, awesome. Well, very good then. I appreciate the time for everybody being here. Doug, thank you, of course, for being here. Craig, thanks for all the support and for all of the members that are out there. 95 of you, or now 100 of you. Now 100 of you are members of Board Game Nation. I am blown away. This, I will tell you, when I launched this, my goal was 100 by the end of the year. That was my goal. So I am super excited and just thrilled and beyond grateful for all the support. And we've got, like I said, some big announcements coming up. We've got some tournament action and all kinds of fun things happening. So we're in the 3 digits now, baby. We're going to pay some rent. Tell them, baby. Sorry, talking to the command center over there. And awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good night, Doug. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Bye.